Hey everyone, it's the Phoam Ranger here, another episode of Phoam Ranger Sports. This episode is previewing Boise State men's basketball's big time non conference neutral site game, which will be played on Sunday at the Mount America Center in Idaho Falls, Nevada at 4 p.m. As 7-3 Boise State Broncos will take on 9-1 St. Mary's College in a big time neutral site game. Right now, it doesn't look like there's really going to be a video feed available because my West Network apparently doesn't have the rights to it. I mean, the Bronco Sports it's available on broncosports.com, but there is no actual feed for that, I believe. I mean, a couple years ago when the first time the Broncos and Gaels met up in Idaho Falls, KTVB Channel 7 on their digital channel streamed it, but this year it looks like there's probably not going to be a live video stream. This game looks like it's mainly just going to be KBOI 93.1 FM for it. Going into this game, the Broncos and Gaels have matched 15 times. The Broncos have a 10-5 record. And going back to 2014, the Broncos are on a 3-game win streak. And the Broncos are looking to keep their streak going to make it 5 years in order at minimum 8 non-conference wins on the season. And during this 4-year stretch, the Broncos win at least 8 non-conference games here. The Broncos are 36-14 non-conference play the last 4 years. And since joining the Mountain West, the Broncos have won 28 non-conference neutral site games and are 28-18 in those games. Right now, in terms of the KenPom rankings and the net rankings, again, as I mentioned in the men's recap, the Broncos right now 44th, and the net and St. Mary's right now is all the way up in 11th in the net rankings, which is impressive. And it's going to be a great opportunity for the Broncos to get a massive win. Because Bella going into our game on the road, they were 22nd, and right now St. Mary's is 17th. This would arguably be one of the, should the Broncos win, it'll be the biggest neutral site win in program history. And just quickly looking at the score, if St. Mary's is ranked in any polls right now. No, they're not AP top 25, nor are they in the coaches. Right now they're 5th in the RPI, which I'm not concerned about RPI, but yeah, they're not ranked top 25, neither coaches or the AP. And right now St. Mary's is tied for first with Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference. Currently there's no Vegas line out for this game because we recorded this at like 11:40 p.m. on Friday, December 12th. Let's go ahead and look at KenPom. Again, so far, St. Mary's on November 3rd, they beat St. Thomas at home. They beat Chattanooga at home on November 7th. Then they beat Ohio at home. They beat North Texas at home, along with Arkansas State. Then they hosted UC Mercer on Division One. And then they did in one of those multi-team tournaments with the win against common opponent Wichita State by 5. They also beat Virginia Tech in that same multi-team event. And they wound up losing to Vanderbilt in the final game of that multi-team event. They just, on Sunday, beat Davidson for their first true road game by 9 points on Saturday. Again, they play in the semi-road game for St. Mary's. So right now, KenPom has to be a 1-point win for St. Mary's. So they're thinking it's going to be another close game. Again, last year went to overtime. Year before it was like a 2-possession game. So this still looks like it's going to be a close one. It would be awesome if Boise State can pull off the win. Then the 19th, they will play Florida Atlantic at home. Then they host Northern Iowa at home a couple days before Christmas. Then they start conference play on Sunday, December 28th, when they play at Loyola Marymount. On the 30th, they play at Pepperdine. January 2nd, they host Portland. January 4th, they host Seattle. January 10th, they host Washington State. January 15th, they're at San Francisco. And on the 17th, they're at Santa Clara. 21st, they host Oregon State. 24th, they're at Portland. 31st, they're at Gonzaga. February 4th, they host San Diego. On the 7th, they host San Francisco. On the 11th, they host Pepperdine. On the 14th, they're at Pacific. On the 18th, they're at Seattle. On the 21st, they're at Washington State. On the 25th, they host Santa Clara. And their senior day, they host Gonzaga. And then they'll be playing the West Coast Conference tournament in Vegas early March, like either first, second full week of March, about the same time as Norwest Conference is going. So again, right now St. Mary's is predicted to win by 1 point against the Broncos in that neutral site game. But I think that Boise State should be able to get the win. I mean, it would be awesome if we can get the win. In terms of their roster, it starts off with sophomore guard Mikey Lewis, number 0, 6'3", 185-pounder out of Oakland, California. He is a true sophomore for them, for the St. Mary's Gaels. Then a senior center, number 1, Harry Wessels, 7'1", 280-pounder out of Bonington, West Australia. Then a sophomore guard, Tony Duquette, number 2, 6'4", 185-pounder out of Carlsbad, California. Freshman guard is Ford Combo, number 6, Mantas Juzenas, 6'6", 215-pounder out of Kaunas, Lithuania. Then is sophomore guard number 7, Joshua Dent, 6'3", 190-pounder out of Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia. Then it's redshirt freshman guard number 8, Rory Hawk, 6'5", 200-pounder of Townsville, Queensland, Australia. Then his freshman guard says Ford Combo, number 11, Dylan Shaw, 6'7", 25-pounder out of Northridge, California. Redshirt freshman forward, number 14, Oliver Falbert, 6'8", 220-pounder of Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada. Redshirt junior guard, number 22, Kate Bennett, 6', 175-pounder of Morgana, California. He previously played for Campolindo. That's a high school. Then it's junior forward number 23, Paulius Morauskas, 6'8", 235 pounder out of Kaunas, Lithuania. Redshirt junior forward number 24, Kevin Gott, 6'6", 205 pounder out of Livermore, California. Then it's junior forwards at center combo number 32, Jazz Gardner, 7-footer, 250 pounder out of Pasadena, California. Redshirt freshman guard number 33, Liam Campbell, 6'4", 25 pounder out of Meridian, Idaho, played for Waihee High School. He was pretty big coming out of Idaho. Then his freshman forward number 42, Trent McLean, 6'8", 205 pounder out of Thousand Oaks, California. Rounding out is 207 is redshirt sophomore center number 45, Andrew McKeever, 7'3", 285 pounder of Livermore, California. Coaching staff, Randy Bennett is their head coach. He's been the head coach for 25 years. He was hired on as the 27th head coach at St. Mary's in 2001. Before that, he was the top assistant at St. Louis University for 2 years. Before that, from 96 to 99, he was an assistant at Pepperdine University. He began his coaching career with a 1-year stint as assistant coach at University of San Diego. Then moved to University of Idaho for 2 years before San Diego for another 8 seasons before going to St. Louis. So he has a lot of games under his belt, and that's why St. Mary's is constantly a really tough team to beat and a really good team to play, especially in like a road game or neutral site game for your net rankings. Then it's Mickey McConnell, associate head coach. This is 7th year with the Gaels, with returning in summer 2019. He played under Randy Bennett from 2007 to 2011. He was promoted to assistant head coach, associate head coach, summer 2022. He spent 8 years professionally in Europe, along with playing a year for the Texas Legends. So he's still a little young in the coaching in his career as a coach. Joe Rahan is another associate head coach as well. This is his 5th year with the program. He previously played for Gaels along with Boston College. And after playing collegiately, he played in Europe. Then it's assistant coach E.J. Rowland. He's a graduate, an 05 graduate of St. Mary's. He rejoined the program last year. He's played North America, Australia, Europe, and Asia. We're playing for the Florida Flames of the D League. So this is his first stint as an assistant coach in college level. Again, he comes in with a breadth of knowledge of playing for the D League and also internationally. Then it's Dan Sheets, an assistant coach. He played for the team 5 years, and then he was a GA as well. In 2020 was a graduate assistant. So we went right from playing to coaching for the Gaels. The assistant coach is Trey Touche. This is his third year as assistant coach after spending 2 years as recruiting coordinator. He played for UTEP and McNeese State. The director of basketball operations is Holden Wright. Video coordinator is Corey Lazars. Taz Shulkars, graduate assistant, along with Teofilas Tubelis and Clayton Maloch. In terms of their stats, their team stats, again, 9-1 St. Mary's. They put up 810 total points, average 81 points per game. And so far, they've allowed their opponents to score 635 points and allowing 63.5 points per game. Shooting wise, they made 273 out of 568 shots for a 48% field goal percentage and around 27 made field goals per game. Defensively, they've allowed opponents to make 229 out of 604 field goals. They allow 38% and allow just a hair under 23 field goals made per game. For three-pointers, they are 77 out of 194 from beyond the arc for around 70% or 40%, and they average 7.7 threes made per game. Defensively, they've allowed opponents to make 62 out of 218 three-point attempts. They're allowing teams to shoot around 28% from three-point range, and they only allowed 6.2 made three-pointers per game. From the charity stripe, they are 187 out of 235 for just a hair under 80%, and they average 18.7 made free throws per game. In terms of rebounding, they have 413 rebounds for 41.3 boards per game, and they've allowed opponents to pull down 298 boards for 29.8 boards per game. They have 149 assists on the year for 14.9 per game. They have 121 total turnovers as a team. They average 12.1 turnovers per game, and they average 11.8 points off opponent turnovers. So far, opponents have forced 111 turnovers on the Gaels. Well, actually, turnovers is always a little tricky because sometimes, so the Gaels turn it over. Gaels have turned over 121 times. And they force 111 turnovers, and they force about 11.1 turnovers per game, and they allow opponents to only score 13.2 points off of Gaels turnovers. Gaels have 57 steals on the season and 38 blocks on the season so far. In terms of their players, Paulius Morauskas has started every game, averages just short of 31 minutes a game. 56 of 117 from the field for 48%, 8 of 30 for 27% for 3, 60-75 for 80% for charity stripe. 18 offense. He also averages 18 points per game. He also has 18 offensive, 60 total boards, 26 fouls, 25 assists, 21 turnovers, 10 steals, 5 block shots. Mikey Lewis has started every game for St. Mary's, averages 28.9 minutes, 56 of 129 for 43% from the floor. Really solid three-point shooter, 26 of 55 for 47%, so someone the Broncos cannot afford to have open shots. And is 30 of 32 from Shooting Stripe for 94%. Averages 16.8 points per game, has 3 offensive, 36 total boards, 13 fouls, 31 assists, 15 turnovers, 7 steals, 2 blocks. Joshua Dent, start every game, averages 33.2 minutes, is 36 of 80 for 45% for the floor, 11 of 36 for 31% for 3, 40 of 41 for 98% for Shooting Stripe, 12.3 points per game, 3 offensive, 23 boards, 21 fouls, 47 assists, 22 turnovers, 13 steals, and 2 blocks. And McKeever's playing every game, has started 9 of them, averages 26.6 minutes per game, 39 to 70 for 56% overall from the floor. Hasn't attempted a 3, is 18-29 for 62% for Charity Stripe, 9.6 points per game. 47 offensive, 106 total points, or 106 total boards, 19 fouls, 17 assists, 17 turnovers, 4 steals, 14 block shots. Again, one of their top shot blockers, and one of their main centers, so we're going to have work cut out for us a bit if we're attacking him while trying to go low. But Drew Fielder at times this year has definitely gone up against guys that are even taller than him and still have put up like 15 plus points. So we're definitely going to need that kind of performance from Drew Fielder. Dylan Shaw's playing every game, 16.7 minutes a game, 23 of 48 from the floor for 48%, 11-24 for 46% from three-point range, so someone else that the Broncos can allow to be open. 7-12 for 58% from Charity Stripe, 6.4 points per game, 11 offensive, 46 total boards, 16 fouls, 6 assists, 8 turnovers, 10 steals, and 5 block shots. Liam Campbell's playing every game for 16 minutes game, 22-35 for 63% from the floor, 11-24, 55% for 3. Another player the Broncos can't afford to leave wide open from 3-point range, and is perfect from Charity Stripe, 5 of 5. 6 points per game, 2 offensive, 22 boards, 15 fouls, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, 6 steals. Roy Hogg has started in 3 games so far, playing every game, 15 minutes a game, 12-23 from the floor for 52%, 1 of 8 for 13% for 3, and 11-12 for 92% for Charity Stripe. 3.6 points per game, 1 offensive, 11 total boards, 12 fouls, 4 assists, 11 turnovers, and 1 steal. And the only other player that is multiple starts is Kevin God. He's playing the 7 games. He's starting every game he's played. Averages 10 minutes a game. 4 of 11 from the floor for 36%. 2 of 6 from 3-point range for 33%. 1.4 points per game. 4 offensive, 9 total boards. 6 fouls, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Whereas Boise State men's basketball, so again, Gaels got some real good shooters. And the Broncos really going to have to do a hell of a job of limiting their tough guys. Again, like a Maroskas got to have to hold on to under his 18 points per game minimum. Same Mikey Lewis, again, a really prolific 3-point shooter. Got to find a way to keep him in check, keep him a little cold. I mean, if we can hold Morauskas to like only 14 points against us on Sunday, and Mike Lewis to about 10, and then to about 10 as well, the game could be more winnable for us. And we can definitely do that. I mean, like against Butler, we held one of their big scoring guys to single-digit points and held him to 0 for 5 in 3-point range. Same with Utah Valley. Again, Duquesne held him to 64 points when they came in averaging 87 as a team. Whereas right now, Boise State terms of stats on the season, 790 points scored, averaging 79 points a game. Defensively, we're holding the teams to 69.7 points per game. Offensively, we've made 263 out of 594 field goals for 44%. We averaged 26.3 field goals per game. For field goals defensively, we've allowed 254 to 546 for 44% field goal percentage allowed, and we've allowed 25.4 field goals per game. From 3-point line, we are 84 235 for 36%, and we made 8.4 threes per game. Defensively, we've allowed opponents to make 70 out of 214 attempts for 33% 3-point percentage allowed, and we allowed 7 made threes per game. For charity stripe, we were 180 out of 235 attempts for 76.6% field goal free throw percentage, and we averaged 18 made free throws per game. We average 39 boards per game, and we allow 29.3 boards per game to the opposition. We average 14.3 assists per game. Turnovers, we turn the ball over 119 times for 11.9 per game. And we force 110 turnovers to our opponents, or by opponents, and we force about 11 turnovers per game. Broncos average 13 points off turnovers per game, and we give up 14.3 points off our turnovers per game. We average 4.7 steals per game and 1.8 block shots per game. Right now, Drew Fielder is averaging 22 minutes. Is 53-9-1 from the floor, 58%, 6 of 18 for 33% from 3-point range, 24-33 for 73% for charity stripe, averaging a hair under 14 points per game, 21 offensive, 54 total boards. He has 19 fouls, 15 assists, 18 turnovers, 5 steals, 5 block shots. Ender Meadow averages 29 minutes a game, is 42 of 81 for 52% from the floor, 17 of 37 for 46% for 3-point range, which is really dang good. 26 of 36 from charity stripe for 72%, averages 12.7 points per game, 8 offensive, 42 total boards, 7 fouls, 11 assists, 10 turnovers, 3 steals. Jay Buchanan averages 28.2 minutes a game, is 36 of 96 for the field for 38%. It's 12 of 33 so far this season for 36% for 3-point range. 40 of 48 from charity stripe for 83%. Averages 12.4 points, 22 offensive, 52 total boards, 26 fouls, 20 assists, 10 turnovers, 8 steals, 1 block shot. Dylan Andrews averages 29 points per game, is 34 of 103 for 33% from the floor, 14 of 46 for 30% from 3-point range, 33 of 39 for 85% for charity stripe. He averages 11.5 points per game, 3 offensive, 34 total boards, 9 fouls, 44 assists, 28 turnovers, and 11 steals. Pina Carmichael has started 1 game so far this season, playing every game, averages 16 minutes, 33 of 64 from the floor for 52%, 15 of 38 for 40% for 3, 14-19 for 74% for charity stripe, averages 9.5 points per game. Again, is coming off a massive 26-point performance for a career high against Duquesne. He has 5 offensive, 26 total boards, 23 fouls, 5 assists, 10 turnovers, 4 steals, 1 block shot. Spencer Aarons, 12.9 minutes per game, 19 of 49 from the floor for 39%, 7-23 for 30% from 3-point range, 12 of 16 for 75% for charity stripe. Averages 5.7 points per game, 6 offensive, 25 total boards, 15 fouls, 3 assists, 4 turnovers, and 2 block shots. A.J. Neto, 18.9 minutes a game, 15 of 38 for 40% from the floor, 5 of 14 for 36% for 3, 16 of 24 for 67% for charity stripe, 5.1 points per game, 14 total boards, 22 fouls, 16 assists, 17 turnovers, and 6 steals. RJ Keene has started 9 games, averages 22.6 minutes a game, 10 of 27 from the field for 37%, 4-15 from 3-point range for 27%. He has yet to attempt a free throw this season, averages 2.4 points per game, 16 offensive, 54 total boards, 21 fouls, 22 assists, 2 turnovers, 4 steals, 3 block shots. Dominic Perlin is the only other Bronco that has played every game, 14.4 minutes per game, 14 of 31 for 45% from 3 from the floor, 1 of 4 From 3-point range, 12 of 16 for 75% for 30 strike, 4.1 points per game. 20 offensive, 45 total boards, 17 fouls, 5 assists, 7 turnovers, 5 steals, and 5 block shots. Again, Phoam has only played in 4 games, Ethan Latham in 2, Rajon Burgesson in 2. Julian Bowie has played in 8 games, but highly sporadically, and Brendan Mears so far has appeared in just the 1 game so far, which was on Wednesday. I know Julian Bowie probably would have been having a bigger season, but he's dealing with a lot right now in terms of, again, as was, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but shortly before the season started, his father passed away. So it's been a tough time for him this season. Him to go through the grieving process of losing his father, especially since this is right now the holiday season. It can be really difficult for someone to be going through the grieving process of losing a loved one, especially a close family member. So he's battling through that, and along with take care of his studies and his basketball duties as well. So it'd be pretty cool if he can still see some playtime this year, or maybe see if he get a red shirt for this year. You know, a hardship red shirt. See that's potential or possible. So that he doesn't lose his season. You know, so that way it gives him the ability to relax, to breathe, and to really be able to go through the grieving process and not worry so much about like playtime, about losing a season this year, especially after him like losing his father right before the fall practices started, I believe. So definitely keeping him and his family in my thoughts and prayers, especially in this holiday season, as it can be tough to go through, especially if you lose close ones and family members to death. Can be tough to get through a holiday season. So in terms of my prediction for the game, I think Boise State should be able to win. I mean, we'll see how well attended this game is. The reason why it's going to be on Sunday the 14th at 4 p.m. is because right now it's December 13th at 6 past midnight. Then of recording this episode, there was a little like a high school tournament going on. Like some kind of showcase, something like that was going on yesterday, and that is going on today, December 13th. And so the only time, according to the schedules for both Boise State and St. Mary's, to make this game happen as a neutral site game in Idaho Falls was Sunday, December 14th at 4 p.m. The reason why I say it's going to be difficult to have attendance at this one, because, you know, like if you're traveling to Boise, that's about like a multi-hour drive, like maybe 3 or 4 hours. Probably more closer to 3 hours to get to Idaho Falls and to the arena. Then the basketball game could go for 2 hours, maybe 2.5, maybe 3, depending on overtimes. They gotta drive back after the game, which means they'll probably get back to Boise about like 11 p.m. or midnight on the 15th. And then if you have to work, you have to get to work, you know. And it's also on a Sunday, which is a pretty religious day for not only Christians, but also for members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, such Mormons, and East Idaho, where Idaho Falls is more, has a majority Mormon population. Well, 50%, I believe, of the East Idaho, as you get closer to the Utah border, is more predominantly Mormon. And from what I hear, church is multi hours into like maybe the afternoon. And so, yeah, I highly doubt that there's going to be as much of a fan attendance as there has been in the past. I mean, we'll love it. There's a strong contingent of Bronco Nation that'll be able to make it out to that game, but like a lot of people I talked with from Section 12, the Blue Collar Club, Section 12 faithful, only like a few, like maybe 4 people max are going. Whereas like last year and before, there were like double digits of us going, but this year, not so much because of the day and the time of it. So yeah, so probably only maybe like 2,000 or maybe like 2,500, maybe 2,750 fans total be at the game. If they can, might be a little less, we'll see. But yeah, I don't think this one is going to be having as high of attendance as the past 2 years were. And probably maybe better that it's not put on real streaming like Mammoth Network or anything like that, and just have the audio only on the radio. Probably a better option for this one. So again, Broncos have a massive opportunity for another major win on their resume. Again, I think this one, should the Broncos win this one. Again, since in the net rankings right now, St. Mary's is ranked 17th. If I remember correctly. Yes, 17th. I don't believe that they should fall too far, and I think they'll finish worse than probably 40th in the net rankings. And with how the quad system work, if I remember, quad 1 is at home 1 to like 30, neutral side is like 1 to 50, and with true game it's 1 to 75. Since St. Mary's is 17th, and I think they'll finish worse than 40th. Boise State gets this win on Sunday, tomorrow the 14th, with tip-off at 4 p.m. Just should stay as a quad 1 win for the Broncos at the end of the season, which will be huge for Boise State. That'll mean that Boise State will have, or should have in the end of the year, with the win tomorrow, at least two quad 1 wins. And if they pick up some more in the conference play, that could help out their case for the NCAA tournament resume and still making it as a bubble team. I mean, probably playing the first round again in Dayton, but still wouldn't make it be that Boise State can play in the NCAA tournament 4 times in the past 5 years. I mean, that Baylor game was huge, but if they get this win, it'll be absolutely massive for Boise State men's basketball and could help them down the road get into the NCAA tournament again this year, especially with some key wins on the road and some key home wins against conference opponents. And again, can't lose to any Q3 or Q4 opponents or conference opponents this year. They don't have that margin of error. No margin of error for the Broncos. Because again, this is the last non-conference matchup. After this, it's all conference games. So if the Broncos are going to lose to conference opponents, they need to make certain it's only 2 teams that are in the top, that are either a quad 1 or quad 2. Anything worse than that, and their NCAA tournament odds basically go bye-bye. So here's to a massive win for Boise State men's basketball tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. So with that said, go Broncos.